the team manager Manapang being feted by her players.
Yeah, I think it was really great to hear from Mano Polking and what he had to say there when he was asked about who stood out for him as Thailand's MVP, and all the names rolling off his tongue. Chanatip, Tirasin, Tiraton, everyone showing their quality, but Kritsada being the man. And I think that's a player that we picked out as well during the game. And he's absolutely right to praise Kritsada. That young man is going to be a massive player for Thailand for years to come.
Big smile there from Chanatip Songkrasin. Roshan, if you did not know anything about ASEAN football or did not follow any of these teams, you wouldn't know that Kritsada is not a natural centre-back.
No, you wouldn't. If you're just tuning in for the first time, if you don't know that he actually is a central midfielder or defensive midfielder.
What's that theory you have again?
It's easier for central midfielders to play, or defensive midfielders to play at centre back than it is for central defenders to play in midfield. They can't do it, I'm telling you. But look, let's go back to these players and the effort that they've put in. And Mano Polking again in that interview saying he thought they played it brilliantly throughout the tournament, throughout the competition. And he's right. He's absolutely right. And I said it. They've been the best team to watch in this AFF Suzuki Cup.
Yeah, they've shown great attacking ability and defensive solidity. And now let's hear from the man of the moment, the captain of Thailand, Chanatip Songkrasin.
Okay, เจนัดสุดท้ายเรียบร้อยเราภารกิจทวงแชมป์ได้สำเร็จมีอะไรพูดกับแฟนบอลชาวไทยครับ
ก็แน่นอนว่าก็ต้องขอบคุณแฟนบอลชาวไทยทุกท่านนะครับที่ให้กำลังใจพวกเราตลอดระยะเวลา1 เดือนมันก็เป็นของขวัญปีใหม่ที่น่าจะดีที่สุดสำหรับปีนี้ที่ผ่านมานะครับแต่ก่อนอื่นว่าผมต้องขอบคุณสตาฟโค้ชผู้จัดการทีมแล้วก็รวมถึงคิสแมนด้วยแล้วก็รวมถึงเพื่อนๆในทีมวันนี้เรามีการสูญเสียคุณพ่อพี่ตองด้วยครับแล้วก็พี่บอยชัดชัยเจ็บทอมเจ็บเอเลียสเจ็บแน่นอนว่าทุกคนที่มาเล่นที่นี่พร้อมช่วยชาติเล่นเพื่อครอบครัวเล่นเพื่อคนที่เรารักแล้วก็พวกเราสามารถทำได้ครับก็ต้องขอบคุณทุกคนที่ทุกคนมีความเกี่ยวข้องพวกเราทำได้แต่พวกเราจะไม่หยุดพัฒนาเพราะเราต้องมองไปให้ไกลกว่านี้ครับขอบคุณครับ
What a tournament he's had, Roshan. Chanatip Songkrasin, he didn't play in the last one in 2018. He was the preceding MVP for the other 2 tournaments. As the Thai fans celebrate there. We'll talk about Chanatip in a short while. We're going to get the Korean perspective, the Indonesian perspective from their Korean coach, Shin Tae-yong, who was trying to be as positive as possible before this. And it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say at the end of it all.
Coach, you topped your group, you got into the final, and now you've had a very courageous final as well. What's the overall assessment of your team?
지금 조 1위로 통과하시고 지금 이렇게 결승전 올라와서 경기를 잘하셨는데 전체적인 우리 팀에 대한 평가, 이 토너먼트를 하시면서 적시적인 팀에 대한 평가 한번 부탁드립니다.
뭐 잘 아시다시피 우리 선수들이 아직 어리고 젊기 때문에 가장 부족했던 경험이 가장 부족했다고 생각하고 마지막 파이널 1차전에서 그 경험이 부족했던 것이 너무나 현실이 드러났고 그렇지만 2차전에 우리 선수들이 남들 최선을 다했던 모습 지금 우리 선수들 성장하고 있는 모습이 너무 좋았기 때문에 이런 큰 대회에서 우리 선수들이 한 발 한 발 다가가고 있고 나가고 있는 모습이 너무 좋았다. 전체적으로 경험과 패기가 우선 최고 좋아지고 있는 모습이 이번 토너먼트에서 우리가 수학이라고 할 수 있다 생각합니다.
As you are most probably as you are aware, our squad is still very young. But then, because of the fact that we are young, the experience was something that was lacking on the squad. But then there was I could see the passion that our young boys had throughout the tournament. And then I could it was something I was happy to see in our boys that they could go on even when they had difficulties ahead of themselves. So all in all, throughout the tournament, experience is something that we definitely regained, and also I could reconfirm the passion that the boys had to move forward. So that's positive.
You spoke about the passion. Now looking ahead to the AFF Under 23, do you think you guys are favorites to win this competition now?
지금 AFF 23세 대회가 기다리고 있는데요. 지금 감독님이 열정에 대해서 얘기를 하셨는데 이기실 것인지 우승하실 것인지.
우리가 지금 우리 23세 선수들이 지금 대표팀에 20세, 23세 어린 선수들이 기둥이다 보니까 이런 경험을 쌓기 위해서라도 나가서 좋은 경기를 해야 된다. 그리고 그런 시합에 나와서 우승이란 것을 못 따고 나면 선수들이 훨씬 더 자신감 붙기 때문에 우승할 수 있도록 우리도 준비 잘 할 것이다.
The backbone of our team, as you've seen clearly throughout the tournament, is mostly under 20, under 22, under 23 young players. So an opportunity like that for us to be participating in a tournament, I'm sure that if we do well in the tournament, I'm sure that even further development of our football is waiting for us in the future.
Thank you very much and well played.
Thank you.
Yep, it's about the future, isn't it, for this Indonesian side, as has been noted, as we see there the team manager taking it all in, Madam Pang. And now Manu Polking is going to get thrown up in the air with his favourite kit on. Now you could just see the affection they have for him.
Yeah, he's a popular guy. And we heard it from Chanatip in his interview earlier as well. He was thanking Manu Polking for his role, the role that he's played in the success of this Thai team in this competition. Lots of smiles. They deserve to be smiling. They deserve to be enjoying themselves. And this man here as well, you know, he's had lots of critics come at him for his time in Thailand with Bangkok United and perhaps not being able to lead them to a title. This will shut lots of critics up, I think, you know, stepping in, but not really that much time coming into this campaign. And not just winning it, but winning it in a wonderful fashion, a really enjoyable style.
Could be one of those quiz questions, isn't it? Which manager has won more international titles than he had at club level, and only having managed for a few months, he's won on his first go at anything. This was his first international stint. Brilliant for him.
You know, he spoke about how important this competition is, how important winning it is, and it gives you time, and instantly you become a hero. And you know, that's what he will be back home. But here's a look at the goal that kicked things off. Ricky Kambuaya, first of all, just keeping it on target. It was a mistake from Siwara, but a really encouraging start for Indonesia. And for the neutrals watching this one, we thought Indonesia would just be giving us something to get excited about, but Thailand exerted their control and the dominance. The goal there from Adisak, and then here from Saraj, going into the back of the net, off a deflection of Asnawi. And then this is a really good finish from Egy Maulana. Hence 2-all on the night. 6-2.
6-2 on aggregate. It is the biggest win by any team, any country in the AFF Suzuki Cup over 2 legs. Biggest aggregate win.
6 goals for the sixth title.
Yeah, a lot of sixes in this, 6th time that Indonesia have not won. And there's a number 6, Sarat Suyen, who's also up and about now. He had that injury a little bit earlier on. As they now await the prize ceremony, which everything looks to be pretty much ready to go here at the National Stadium. Thailand now looking to try and qualify for the Asian Cup, Roshan, and that's their next big gig, as it were.
It has to be about progression. It has to be about taking that next step. Yes, regional champions kings of Southeast Asia again, but it cannot and should not end here. There needs to be a progression in their play, and needs to be a progression in their level, and that's where they'll see themselves at, you know, getting back amongst the elite of Asian football, and that's
where they see themselves, aren't they?
And that's the challenge. That's the key. They're trying to take that next step, trying to move up to that level.
Even Chanatip made the mention of it, that he was, that Thais still struggling a little bit beyond Southeast Asia, and now smiles, and it's good to see from the Indonesians.
It has been a very good performance from the Indonesians. It's been an enjoyable campaign for them, and I mean, they deserve to smile. They do. It's a young team, a young squad. It's got a big bright future ahead of them if they get things right. You know, if they aren't distracted, if the development isn't interfered with, they can get players overseas. Lots of ifs coming up, but the talent is there, the squad is there. They have players capable of making that next step up in the development and carrying the team forward. And they've got a really good head coach in Shin Tae-yong, who's very experienced. So, I mean, let's see what the future holds, but the signs are really bright for Indonesia.
Yeah, it's got another couple of years on his contract at the moment, Shin Tae-yong. Supposedly the best paid coach in the region as well. As we see the VIPs now line up, as we start to give those awards out. All, of course, nicely spaced out. So we await then the first tokens of appreciation, which is going to be for the officials. As we said, Roshan, I think a very good job the last 3 matches in particular.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they've done a good job. We haven't had to talk about the referees much, which is perfect for me. I don't think they should be the focus of things. But yeah, they've done a good job.
Ahmad Faisal Muhammad Al Ali from Jordan, assisted today by Ahmed Mansour Samara Musen, Hamza Abdel Ahmad Abdulaid. These are all from Jordan, and the fourth official today, Muhammad Khalid Al Hosh from Saudi Arabia, and they're presented these tokens of appreciation by Mr. Winston Lee, the AFF General Secretary. And he also gets to autograph the ball. Oh, they're all getting their ball signed. Next up, as we mentioned, for the AFF, the under-23 tournament to be held in Cambodia in mid-February. As we've talked about there, Indonesia will go in there, whether they want to admit it or not, as the big favourites. The draw has been made a few days ago. Indonesia with a pretty good group. Thailand with Vietnam and Singapore in a group of 3. That'll be interesting.
Safe to say this is the longest I've ever seen referees being awarded the tokens of appreciation.
normally done fairly briskly, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know what's great is the crowd around here. You know, normally when referees get awarded these tokens,
They
the
get
whole
a
stadium
reception
goes
that's
against them.
Yeah.
And it's a negative reception, but no one here has
I think
been booing them.
especially given the context as well.
Yeah.
This is good to see. And there's a lot of talk about VAR coming in to the next edition of the AFF Suzuki Cup. Let's see if that happens. I think it will be a tremendous boost for the tournament.
It will be, but there's lots of things involved with getting it together. The referees deserve their moment in the spotlight.
Now for the Fair Play Award. Indonesia get the Fair Play Award. Evan Dimas is going up. That's a little surprising as they had the most fouls in the tournament.
And they've escaped bookings, which is an art. Well done to Indonesia for winning the Fair Play Award.
When you're the runner-up and you get the Fair Play Award, it's always hard, isn't it? And he's been presented the trophy there by Mr. Lim Kia Tong, the AFF Vice President, also President of the Football Association of Singapore and Chairman of the local organising committee. And, I think it's been very, very well organised in the end, Roshan.
Oh, yes. It has been incredibly well organized. It's a credit to all the organizers, all the people who've worked so incredibly hard to put this competition together. It's been a wonderful, wonderful competition. Everything has been smooth, everything has been well organized.
The top scorer award. There were 4 players who got 4 goals each. Chanatip Songkrasin and Tirisan Danga there from Thailand, Safari Rasid from Malaysia and Bienvenido Maranon from the Philippines. Of course, these are the only 2 here still in Singapore. They will go up to collect that award. Also to be presented by Mr. Lim Kia Tong.
Fascinating, isn't it? I mean, 4 players winning the Golden Boot Award. Good luck sharing that.
Split it down the middle. And there's a nice little check there of $2,500 US. I hope that's going to get split as well, 4 ways.
Let's put that in a team fund or a charity fund, perhaps.
Tirisan went off at half-time. Must be wondering whether he would have been up there still because Chanatip is on the pitch.
And they're discussing now what they're going to do with this.
Are we going to contact Maranon and Safawi?
Once again, congratulations to our goal winners. And congratulations to Tirisan Danga as well for becoming all-time goal scorer of the AFF Suzuki Cup.
Well, Chanatip better not go too far away.
And now the AFF MVP trophy goes to the player from Thailand, Chanatip Songkrasin.
No surprises. Chanatip Songkrasin is the most valuable player of the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020, reclaiming that award that he won both in 2014 and 2016.
Yeah, gets a big roar from the crowd. I don't think anyone can have too many complaints about this, his impact on the Thai side and just his overall play. Although I think perhaps he could have looked at maybe Kritsada, who has been a consistent performer for Thailand throughout this campaign. Can't really complain about that, can you, Chanatip winning the MVP award?
It's a record-extending 3rd time that he has won the award. Chanatip which is a fantastic achievement as he gets a check there of $10,000 presented to him by Ms. Rosanna Arshad, the Assistant Director of Nursing at Tan Tock Seng Hospital. I think that's a lovely gesture as well.
Yep.
Just a nod to the frontliners who've really been at the forefront of things here during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, they've been MVPs themselves, haven't they? And
I like that, absolutely true.
I mean, again, we spoke about this, I think, at the start of the campaign or one of the other matches in this campaign where the bigger picture of the situation around the world and the fact that you mentioned this competition has been postponed twice, and still we've been able to hold it now. And it's because of the wonderful work of the frontliners around the globe, around the world. And we are where we are at the moment. Things have certainly improved. And we hope the positives continue.
Yeah, and I think Manu Polking also said it, didn't he, as well, that we just hope we've given people a little bit of joy and distraction over this time. Here are the semi-finalists. Vietnam pick up a check of $50,000 as a representative for Vietnam, presented to him by Mr. Winston Lee, the AFF General Secretary. And we should get a pretty decent reception as well for the other losing semi-finalist, of course, who captured the imagination and almost pulled off what would have been one of the stories of the tournament. There you go, there's a reception, because Singapore get the other $50,000 check. It's been collected by Mr. Lim Kia Tong, who's the president of the Football Association of Singapore. 9-man Singapore, almost beaten. They came within a missed penalty in the 88th minute of getting into the final. And that one will certainly be a classic for many, many years to come. Always a tough walk when you're a runner-up. So Indonesia led there by Egy Maulana. That's interesting. He's leading the players up. Indonesia, who have fought so hard and have missed out once again on getting a winner's medal. That is never easy. Runners-up, as you can see there, straight runners-up for 3 editions between 2000 and 2004, then 2010, 2016, and again the 2020 edition.
Tough one to take. Tough one to take as a nation. 6 finals, 6-time silver medalists. But as I said, I think the difference is you've got a very young side, very young squad here that has the potential to grow. I just hope we're not, a couple of years down the line, wondering again why Indonesia haven't been able to take that next step. But in terms of this campaign, if we're just looking at this, you look at the campaign that they've put in, the effort that they've put in this team, I think they've made people back home very proud. I think Indonesians can be really proud of this team, this young team with plenty of potential and quality. And again, the challenge is just taking the next step. Will they be given those opportunities to do that?
Yeah, there were some limitations ahead of this tournament and during the tournament as well, as we saw today. But they have certainly won a lot of fans as well with their brand of football. Madeo, who was not even scheduled to start for his country, a couple of twists and turns helped him become quite the hero for Indonesia, and particularly savouring that penalty. There is so much potential in this side. They are one of the youngest squads in the AFF Suzuki Cup. Shin Tae-yong has to stay in the job, I think that's clear. Continuity is absolutely key in these sort of circumstances. And he's been a real breath of fresh air as well in those press conferences, hasn't he?
He has. I think he's been very good amongst the coaches and with the press conferences, what they've said. it's been fascinating to watch that little battle between the coaches in those situations. You know, things they say about each other. He tried to get under Mano Polking's skin a little bit.
Just listen to that, Roshan, as we just hear the crowd roar. They like him. They really like him. And Dato Sri Francisco Kalbuwadile, the AFF Vice President and Chairman of the AFF Competitions Committee, giving out all those medals, and now the mock check of $100,000 for the runners-up Indonesia.
Yeah, they should be happy with him. The work that he's done, Shin Tae-yong, to take Indonesia into the final of this competition. You know, again, remember in the previews and the build-up to this, not too many people would have expected Indonesia to go all this way. He's done a wonderful job against the odds.
And now, the big moment here, the one the Thai fans have been waiting for. Chanatip Songkrasin. Going up. Teammates letting him go up first. And there they are, the 6 times they've won this: 1996, 2000, 2002. Then there was a big break, wasn't there? Where Singapore and Malaysia ruled supreme, 2014, 2016, and now 2020, where they will feel they have reclaimed their rightful place at the top of the ASEAN tree. And it's not just that they've won it, Roshan, it's just the way they have won this tournament.
They've won it in style. And a lot of fun to watch this Thailand squad. You see,
only 4 nations have ever won this. Thailand extending their record to 6. Singapore second with 4th. Vietnam with 2, 1 for Malaysia. Mano Polking. You'll get and should get the plaudits here.
yeah, just looking at Chanatip and Mano as well, just giving each other a hug, and Chanatip was full of praise for Mano Polking. He appreciates the work that he's done with this team and how he's led them to the title. And Mano letting all his players go up first, receive their medals, all his coaching staff ahead of him.
Chachai on his crutches after that injury. Yeah, the guys who've been in the wars, haven't they? But Richard, been injured. Patompon as well, didn't feature today. Elias Gola limping.
They've all played their part.
Absolutely, every one of them has had a chance. I don't think any squad can say that here in this tournament. And he has juggled and mixed things around beautifully. Mano Polking, as they get all their awards from Major General Kyub Samet, the AFF President and Chairman of the AFF Tournament Committee. And they also collect a winner's check of $300,000 US. That's a nice tidy sum, isn't it? And now the trophy to be presented to the Thai skipper Chanatip Songkrasin. What a tournament he has had yet again. Here we go. And here are your AFF Suzuki Cup 2020 champions, Thailand. For a record-extending 6th time, they celebrate being the champions of Southeast Asia.
You know, it's great to see when the players and the coaches get a chance to lift the trophy, because it should be about them. They're the ones who put in the effort on the pitch, on the training ground, in the bubble. They deserve to lift hard for moments like this. Thailand deserved winners. Great to see Chanatip getting the chance to lift that trophy. Manapolking as well.
Brilliant scenes for the Thai team, and I'm sure celebrations in Thailand as well, and the huge diaspora. They reclaim their title, the title they always feel that they should get. They should be at the top of the front of the queue. And this will be a great moment for the country. 6 times they've done it, having come excruciatingly close to getting into the final last time, missing out, and they will have their name etched onto that again. Many congratulations to Thailand. Big smiles all around for the Thais, and Manapolking and his team have done a superb job. Chanatip, who came in from Japan, absolutely delighted. Your final thoughts, Roshan?
It's been a great campaign. I think it's been very enjoyable. You know, looking at all these teams, some of the matches that we've had have been absolute classics. I think back to Indonesia, Malaysia 4-1. That's Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand against Vietnam. Over 2 legs was a tactical masterclass from Manapolking. And then the final over the 2 legs, complete control from Thailand. It has been a wonderful tournament, a wonderful competition, and thank you to the frontliners, and I'm glad this one was able to take place with such success.
Very well summed up there, Roshan Rai. And from all of us here, Roshan, myself, Shazad Haq, and the entire team, and everyone who's worked on this tournament, thank you so much for joining us over the last month or so. We look forward to seeing you at the next AFF Suzuki Cup.